Show. For exclusive interviews right here. Go.
Man, thank you. I just want to welcome you to the LaDonna Raeh Show. And you know what, Raquel Aurilia, you are an amazing voice. The sound takes me back, and it's basically what we need. You are fantastic as an artist. Welcome to the LaDonna Raeh Show.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Now tell us about your artistry in this process. You know, when you woke up one morning, it sounds like you've been singing all of your life, but when you woke up one morning, and then what?
Well, I've known I want to sing for my whole life. It's just been my passion. And I started when I was a little girl. My mom would play piano and I would sing and I'd be so excited. But anyone that would listen, right, when they'd come over, we'd torture them no matter what. So, and I just knew I wanted to do it, but I really didn't know how to get started. So that was the hard part. Like, it was my passion, but it was kind of like, you don't go audition for a band, you know? So it took me a long time to get started, but that was always in my heart, knowing what I wanted to do. And I started way later, like fast forward after I got my master's and went to school and did all that stuff. And then I started to record and sing. I met a producer, and that's kind of how it started. But I've always wanted to, I just didn't know like what door to open. So yeah.
That's amazing. You said, okay, I didn't know what door to open. I know I want to sing, but how do I get through these doors, and which one do I open? You are a writer as well, and it's not easy being able to write and sing your own music. I think that when someone decides they want to sing, they realize this because they watch people live their dreams of singing, and then they decide, I think I want to do that. But you took it a step further with the writing.
Yeah. Well, the way the writing happened, it's funny because I was in the studio this morning with Gardner Cole. He, if you go in his studio, he's got, platinum. He has a diamond. I was like, what is a diamond? I mean, with Madonna's diamond plaque in his room, and it's when you sell like 100 million copies or something crazy. But he's worked with Jodie Watley, Amy Grant, Madonna, and then I walked in the studio one day and I said, well, you know, I need a band. I'm looking for guys. So he was helping me, and then he said, well, do you want to write together? And I said, well, I don't know how to write. And he said, well, why don't you go home and just try, you know, like look at some songs. And I said, is it that easy? I was like, can't be that easy. So I went home and I started like reflecting on some things that had happened and started looking at different ways people write. And then I just started writing, and I came up with my first two songs. One's called You'll Never Know, and the other one was called Walk Away. And that's how the writing started. And from there, I just was like hooked on it. And like, it's just so cool to be able to write, and so therapeutic for me to like write and have that outlet. It's fun. It's really fun.
It is. Are you inspired by life events?
Oh yeah. I mean, I write a lot from things that have happened to me, but then I also write a lot about people vicariously through things that have happened to other people. It's easy for me like to relate to other people and see what their story is. And then sometimes that'll, you know, spark a song. Like a couple of my songs have been written because of that, of something I've seen or something I've felt or a melody I've heard that came out of nowhere. But for the most part, a lot of it's life experiences, but definitely something I've either seen or watched or heard, or, you know, like, so that's a lot of how I write.
Yeah. I know we take note of writers or artists like Mary J. Blige. Even she seems to be at her peak when she's going through turmoil in her love life. You know,
it's true. I know. That's when you have the most to write about. It's sad, but if you go through divorce like I did, then you'll have plenty of stuff to write about.
You will.
Now, it's true that you do like pull from that, and I know as a writer, I pulled from that, and had a lot to write about. And you know, sometimes it's weird, but for me, I love ballads myself. Like I love to listen to ballads, even when I'm working out. It's weird. I just kind of get in the zone. But so I think I'm drawn to that more. So maybe that's why it's easier for me to write ballads and like sad, not sad, but just like really deep songs.
Mellow.
Yeah, a little mellow, but it's fun to write fun ones too. But I think it's easier for me personally to write the other way. I don't know. But I'm happy. So
I'm sorry. How do you work out to a ballad?
I actually ran the marathon. Well, I've run a few like back in the day, but I actually had my headphones in, and part of like what I was listening to was pretty mellow stuff because it kind of gets you in a zone. And so when a runner's zone, they call it a runner's high. You just kind of zone out, and so like something that's like feels good that like I can relate to or like puts me in a thought, a certain way. that's why I think that's why I'm drawn to that. But yeah, you're not going to be all work. I'm the one on the treadmill going slow, but yeah, no, it's just easier to zone out sometimes.
I guess, so the goal is to work out and the goal is to listen to good music. You put the two together and you're singing a love song while on the treadmill.
Exactly. Notice I'm going a little slower than everybody because I'm in the zone. Yours is a really fun song to work out to.
It's a slow burn. It's a slow burn.
Like, yeah, she's been on there for 2 hours and she's only gone like 2 miles. Yeah. It's the ballad's fault. We'll blame it on the ballad.
That's right. Blame it on the ballad. So your song has been getting some rave reviews. I know that you've been in listening rooms, even on Clubhouse, and people have been really giving you some feedback and they're giving it to you good. How does that make you feel when you hear how beautiful your song sounds to them, to us?
Well, it's amazing to me because I write because it feels good. I write and sing and share it, and I want to share with people so they can relate. And when I hear people say things, feedback, sometimes good and bad, it's always good to get feedback so you can change things or fix things. But the feedback I've been getting has been so inspirational for me. It just makes me want to do more and write more and sing more. And so it makes me feel really good. It makes me feel like this song that, Dreams that we were just playing. It's always been a favorite song of mine and I wanted to cover it. I always do like a couple covers on each album. So on each one, I'll try to pick my favorite covers and do that. So that's how this one stems. This one came to life. And I said, we have to put it on the album. I have to, because it's my favorite. And we tried to keep it as close to the original as possible because it's a classic, it's timeless. So, but yeah, I'm so happy and I'm so grateful that people are receiving it well. So I'm very grateful for that.
Yes, we are. I know that, we see, for those of you that aren't familiar with Clubhouse, because you're on an Android phone.
True. It's like, oh my goodness.
Right. It has been an amazing experience hearing Raquel inside of those rooms. And her music is playing and it's playing really nicely. And you can hear that it's mastered properly and produced just beautifully. And your voice, when you speak, it's like we expect, that we hear this sound. And then when you commentate on other artists, that's when I truly wanted to reach out to you because you don't have an ear only for ballads, but you like all music. Wouldn't you say? Am I wrong?
Yeah. Oh no, I love, obviously the genres, I love every genre I think of music. And if a song is good, whether it's, it doesn't matter if it's an indie song or if it's rap or if it's hip hop or if it's R&B. I love all music. So I listen to songs, I listen to what they're saying and the words and how it's written. And so it hits me differently. Some people just listen to the beat. Like I laugh because my boys, they love hip hop. And so they're all about the beat, right? I'm like, do you know what they said? It doesn't even matter, right? So I was like, why didn't I write that song? But it's the beat, it's the melody, it's all of that. So for me, I just love music in general. So it's easy for me to listen and listen with ears that like if I were, just find myself in the lyrics, which is really fun. Even if it's got a great fun beat, that's even better. But like I get lost in a really good beat and lyrics that are cool.
I grew up listening to.
Oh, me? I'm like, oh God, I was waiting. I was like, who did you grow up listening to?
Right.
I grew up listening to, it's crazy, like Elton John, Billy Joel, Bette Midler, like songs that were like, that's why it probably explains why I like ballads, right? Because they're a little bit more on the adult contemporary side of music. But I think like my parents had albums that, that they'd had and I would listen and listen and listen. And I think that's why I fell in love with music so much is because the music was always there. We'd wake up and turn on this, the music in the mornings. And so I grew up listening to that kind of music. But I feel like, I think my first concert though was like Run DMC. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. So we danced our butts off. It was crazy. So yeah, I think I just in general, I just love any type of music really.
What city for Run DMC?
We were in, it was when I grew up in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So we went to in Albuquerque is where the concert was. And so that was the very first one.
Oh, wow. I know that was an experience.
Yeah. And I got to see Prince. So like I went to Prince and he was amazing. So like, I think I've been so fortunate to see like so many good artists in concert that is, motivates me. Yeah. And Prince was, that was probably my favorite concert I've ever been to ever. He was entertained. There was on the stage with a bathtub and all kinds of crazy stuff. It was the best thing ever. So yeah, I think I'm all over the map basically.
If there was one thing you could change when it comes to independent music struggles, if anything, what would it be?
I think I would like to change I guess I wish that we knew as independent artists and more independent artists knew the legal part of it. Like like they had somewhere to turn, like there was a book you just open up and here we go. Like this is what you do. And if you borrow a beat, this is what you have to do to get permission. If you're going to release a song, this is the first thing you should do is copyright your music. And all of these how-tos, I think for independent artists, because we don't know, like no one knows until you experience it or have people guide you. And not everybody has that. So I wish that we could have more of a help system, like a little like a go-to place where, and you can dive and dig deep and really research it, but it takes a while. But if we just had that one little thing to just a checklist, okay, these are the things you do when you release a song. This is how you do it. It would really, really help, I think, the independent artists to just get more music out there and help them figure out how to market and all that. So yeah, I think that'd be great if we had that.
Well, I know that you're going to write that book.
Yeah, I know.
I can see it in your eyes.
I'm all, wait, what's page 1 already? Yeah, no, I do feel like it would help. And because I've learned as I've gone. Like I've never had a manager really. So I've kind of done everything on my own. And the shows I've gotten have been from a friend of a friend or someone that came to see the show or somebody, like my very first show was opening for B.B. King. And that was a big show for me, my first one. And I was like, oh my God, B.B. King. So that turned into other shows, and so it's kind of like I've been having people act like acting managers where they help me here and there, like will guide me, but I haven't had anyone to like really start helping me book and do all that. So it's been a learning experience, and I've been fortunate to open for some really cool people on my own. So I'm grateful that I've found the right keys to those doors I was referring to. You just have to keep plugging until you find it.
Oh man, I totally get it, because being an independent artist and being is like being a mother. It does not come with a book, and you got to find your way and do what works for you and build your audience. What's the silliest thing you've seen someone get upset over?
My goodness. God, I feel like that's happening everywhere, like just at the store, like at the grocery store. I mean, with the masks and stuff. I think I've seen more situations lately that people have gotten upset over. I'm trying to think of the last time I saw something like that. I think someone at the store was mad because the other person didn't have a mask on, and they were like, it was something so silly, like being in place in line and you're too close, and everyone's just uptight with their masks as it is. So I think the guy was getting upset because the girl was too close. I don't know if she put her groceries on the thing too close. But it just was so silly that I thought, really, like, is that really worth like getting upset over? And he got worked up, like really worked up. So that I felt bad. I was like, oof, that's not healthy.
It's amazing how the media can get you worked up about things you never even thought about before.
No.
Now that we watch the news, they tell you that it's just preposterous that you would not wear a mask on properly and would get closer than 6 feet. But here in Chicago, I just learned that you're supposed to be a 6 foot distance in the schools even. And because they don't have the capacity, now they're saying 3 feet is okay. Come on.
No, yeah, I know. But by the way, after a year, 3 feet is okay now. I think it's really been hard, and I can see that people are on edge. Like here in Arizona, we just had the mask mandate lifted. So, and I was out of town. I told you that I was gone, but I guess when I was gone, they lifted that. But people are still.
There's no mask.
Everyone's like, I'm like, what's wrong? And I was subconsciously forgetting my mask every time I got out of the car, and I'd have to run back. And I think I was over it, like everyone else. Like I'm over wearing it. But now I'm seeing that people are still wearing it. They're still keeping the masks on. I think they're still nervous to like just go ahead and say, yeah, I don't want to wear it anymore. Like, and I know when I work out, when I do Pilates, we have to put our masks on. And it'll be interesting to see, some people didn't wear masks. They didn't have to, depending on the instructor, the last few weeks. But now that it's not, I'll be curious to see how people are. But yeah, just the fact that, people do what you're supposed to do, and we're so used to it. Now what? I think people are like, should I take it off? But I thought, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just thinking you're right. They're feeling like, should I take it off? But
Yeah.
I haven't had a runny nose or a cold or anything since I've been wearing my mask every day. So I have a mask for every day of the week. I don't care if they lift it or not. I'm kind of feeling more comfortable wearing the mask, even though it's irritating.
I think so. And I think that there's no, we're still learning, are the vaccines, do they work with these things that we're still reading about and hearing about. And, and now they're starting to vaccinate the 16-year-old and up age range here in Arizona. I just saw something come through at the schools for my one son, my youngest, he's 17. I thought, now we're like, does he want to get the shot? So no, it's that panic of do you go get it now that the younger guys can, because they're so free. Teenagers are free, and there's they're just a different mentality. They're not as worried, and it's a great way to be. I wish I could be more like that sometimes, where you don't worry so much. I think you're just getting irritated about little things, but yeah, it's funny to watch. Sometimes you just have to laugh and sit back and go, okay. Well, I saw a man with a mask right here, just only right here, it was above here and then right above his nose, and he was smoking. So I guess that's why. I'm like, wait, what was that? I had to do a double take. I literally turned around walking, and I had to see it again because it was just all smashed right here. And I thought, well, does that do anything? But yeah, I don't know.
Well, it is what it is.
Whatever works.
Tell people where to find you, Raquel.
All my music's on, RaquelAurilia.com is my website. So you can always go there. But Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, oh my goodness, Reverb Nation, everywhere that you can possibly find music. It's on Amazon. So you can find my music there. And we're just streaming it on Spotify every day and that whole good thing. So, and iTunes, Apple Music, iTunes.
Yes, I'm so happy to have you on our show. You are welcome to come back anytime on the LaDonna Raeh Show.
Thank you.
Amazing guest. You are welcome. And I'll see you around, because we're going to have you come back and give us some progress on how things are going since you've been on the show.
I would love to. Thank you. I mean, in Radio Clubhouse where we met, I just actually did 2 collaborations with 2 people from that room. So it's really cool. So I'll definitely see you in there as well. But thank you for having me. I love your energy. I love what you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. And shout out to Dante on Radio Clubhouse. Woo, woo.
Yay, Dante. He's been amazing. He's a rock star. So
he brought us together. That's right.
Yep. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. We'll see you next time.
Sounds great. Thanks again.
All right. Guys, that was an amazing interview with Raquel Aurilia. She has the most beautiful voice for this ballad situation, I'm telling you. She's writing and singing at the same time. Forget what you heard about her talking about procrastinating, because the music that she puts out sounds like she put a lot of time into it, and you're gonna really, really enjoy it. This is what I'm talking about, people. We have the most platform, or should I say the best platform, for independent artists that have the most creativity. And we are so happy to get their music, talent, and creativity out to you. Don't forget to join us. We're on YouTube. Follow us, search for the LaDonna Raeh Show, and go ahead and subscribe to our channel. Yes, subscribe to our channel. Also, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Look for the LaDonna Raeh Show. And that's it. Talk to you soon. All right, I'm your girl, LaDonna Raeh, and that's it for me. No cap, I'm out.